Here's the analysis result for the guy you filled out the survey for. The result? C minus. This guy is below par. He has some issues to watch out for. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He will likely talk a good game, but in reality, he may not go very far in his career. He likes to be seen as someone in charge and wants things done his way, but he doesn't put in the extra effort needed to climb high. While he follows rules carefully and expects others to do the same, he doesn't bring much energy or heart to the job.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he doesn't get easily upset or lose his temper, but he also doesn't bounce back quickly with new ideas or hope. He is steady on the outside but tends to stick to his own methods even when they aren't working. You won't see drama, but you also won't see much growth or flexibility.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
He is not the warmest person at work, and his style can rub people the wrong way. Because he's very set in his opinions and doesn't care much about others' feelings, people may find him blunt or even rude. Rather than being popular or admired, he may be seen as bossy or difficult to approach.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he is unlikely to openly celebrate your wins or cheer you on. Instead, he may act like your success doesn't matter much or quietly hope things stay the same at home. Don't expect warm hugs or bragging about you to others.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he probably won't throw tantrums or start fights, but you may notice a coolness in his attitude. He values having things his way, so he might quietly hold grudges or become more stubborn at home. He won't openly resent you, but you could sense a silent distance or lack of support.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He's usually careful with money and likes to keep things organized and planned. You won't catch him making impulsive purchases or wasting money on things he doesn't need. He sticks to a budget and might even be strict about what is spent and how.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives within his means and prefers honesty over showing off. He won't waste time or money trying to impress people with expensive gadgets or fancy outings. His practical nature means he values security and stability more than outward appearances.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is quite tight with both money and his way of thinking. He isn't the type to give small gifts just to make you smile, nor does he easily share what he has. Whether it's money or kind words, his careful habits can make life stable, but don't look for much warmth or extra generosity.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He's likely to be controlling rather than open hearted about money. He likes things done his way and expects you to follow his rules, which means he might keep a close eye on how money is spent. If you want a partner who discusses and plans together, this could be frustrating.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is likely to believe that housework should follow a strict routine, but he may expect you to take on most of the chores. His mindset is often about doing things in an orderly fashion, and he might insist that tasks be done just so, usually according to his standards. However, he may not step in to help much himself.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is more likely to help by telling you how things should be done rather than actually rolling up his sleeves and doing the work himself. If he does step in, it may be with a lot of advice and instructions rather than real hands on help. It's wise to talk openly about sharing duties, but don't expect big changes easily.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He usually argues to prove he's right rather than trying to see things from your side. When you share your feelings or ideas, he's more focused on explaining why his way makes sense instead of listening with an open heart. He stands firm and isn't quick to bend or admit he could be wrong.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he is more likely to stay calm on the outside and avoid shouting or saying hurtful things. He doesn't usually explode or act aggressively, but instead becomes colder and more stubborn. You'll feel his distance rather than his rage, which can make arguments feel lonely instead of loud.
Does he have a bad temper?
He is not the type who gets angry very quickly. Instead, he keeps his feelings inside and tries to stay in control when things go wrong. It's not a red flag for safety, but don't ignore the loneliness that can come from this kind of emotional distance.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it very hard to say sorry or admit when he's made a mistake. Instead of taking responsibility, he often sticks to his side of the story and may subtly blame you or insist that he was right all along. If taking responsibility and sharing blame matters to you, be prepared for disappointment here.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is strict about rules but mainly his own, so you may find that he struggles to fully understand or honor your boundaries. If you say no, he might push back, question your reasons, or try to convince you that his way is better. It's important to stand firm and make your needs very clear with him.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he is likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of asking how you feel or trying to understand your reasons, he may act cold or distant and might even question your decision. It's not that he will get angry, but he won't offer much patience or care for your side either.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
You can trust him not to openly use your private moments to hurt or embarrass you, but don't expect much warmth or tenderness about them either. He generally keeps things to himself and isn't likely to gossip or share details. Yet he doesn't fully understand how sensitive these memories are for you. If emotional care is important to you, you may feel something is missing, even though your secrets are safe.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is likely to be faithful, as he prefers stability and routines over seeking excitement or distractions. He doesn't have much enthusiasm for chasing after new experiences or people, so he isn't one to flirt or wander easily. If loyalty matters most to you, he is reliable.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He is not the kind who acts over possessive or overly jealous. He prefers control in how things are done at home or in daily life, but he doesn't usually spend energy being suspicious or checking up on you all the time. You're unlikely to see drama, accusations, or him doubting your loyalty.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, with him, what looks like being protective is really about being controlling. He sets clear rules, expects things to be done his way, and isn't very open to other viewpoints. His care is less about warmth and more about managing things to his comfort.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He is likely to see parenting as your responsibility, not a true team effort. He might set rules or routines for the children, but expect you to carry out most of the actual work, like helping with homework, managing meals, or handling emotions. Don't expect him to share the daily load equally or work side by side with you.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm. He's not one to yell or lash out. However, his calmness can feel cold or strict rather than comforting. If you want someone who comforts kids as well as correcting them, you may be disappointed by his distant approach.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He is unlikely to actively support your role as both a mother and your own person. He tends to focus more on routines and expects things to run in a certain way, often placing most childcare and house duties on you. He's not against you growing, but he won't go out of his way to encourage it or share the load so you have time for yourself.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, he is the kind of man who may seem okay with your career at first, but could later expect you to quit or step back once a child comes along. He likes clear roles and routines and often believes certain things should be the woman's job, especially after marriage or motherhood. You may notice him supporting your work now, but once family life changes, he's likely to expect you to prioritize home over your own dreams.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is more likely to just act polite on the surface rather than show real warmth to your parents. He will follow proper manners and may be respectful, but genuine affection or deep interest in forming a close bond probably won't come naturally for him. Family visits might feel formal and a bit stiff, without much laughter or open hearted conversation. He is much more likely to expect your family to adjust to him than the other way around.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will likely handle it calmly on the outside without shouting or causing a scene. However, his way of dealing with problems is to become distant and stubborn, not gentle or understanding. He won't explode, but he could make things worse by being inflexible or closing himself off.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is likely to act modern with you in private, but expect you to be a traditional, supportive wife when his relatives are around. At home, he may seem okay with your choices, but in front of his family, he will want you to follow their customs, dress properly, and behave according to their expectations. He cares about order and appearances, especially in social situations.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he is more likely to stay out of it or quietly side with his family rather than stand up for you. He avoids open fights but won't easily take your side against his relatives, especially if he thinks their ways are correct. If your partner standing up for you matters, you might feel let down and alone during family troubles.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He may not act like a classic mummy's boy who needs his mother's approval all the time, but he does place high value on keeping things the way his family prefers, especially when it comes to rules and routines. In a conflict with his mother, he is unlikely to choose your side outright. If you want a partner who picks your side and backs you up, he is not likely to give you that support.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He is not the type to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He tends to keep personal matters private and often handles things on his own rather than looking for advice or comfort from others. Your disagreements and sensitive topics are likely to stay between the two of you, not become family gossip.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So, after all that analysis, we can conclude that this guy is a C minus. This guy is below par and he has some serious issues to watch out for. Being in a relationship with this man feels steady and predictable but often lonely and lacking in warmth. He prefers routines, expects things done his way, and doesn't easily share emotions or support.